let's jump ahead from Lynam to Adler. Um, I mean that band had a lot of star power. You've got yourself, Steven Adler, Johnny Martin, and I think it was Lonnie Paul. I don't know if he was there
Yep.
from the start, but he was there. Um, and and you would think that Adler's going to draw a lot of attention, obviously, from Guns N' Roses. We had Johnny on the show, and I asked him what was the undoing of that band, because on paper it looks like a recipe for success. In your opinion, why did that band not do better or reach a bigger audience?
Well, Steven would tell you that we had everything going for us. Like when the record came out, we I think our first single came out around the time they were being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Steven was clean. He was working out. He was going over to Lonnie's every day and working out. And he was so happy. Like you'd never seen somebody so happy and at peace. This was the first thing that he had done outside of Guns N' Roses, like a big release. And we had what we all felt was an incredible record. And the day that we started our press campaign for the record, we had a whole day, like a press day that started at 8 o'clock in the morning LA time until, I mean, we were going to be doing it for like 12 or 14 hours of just nothing but interviews and everything. And our publicist dialed in, and we're all over at Lonnie's house sitting around the phone. And the very first interview that we did, I think it was with Rolling Stone, the guy said, "Hey, Steven, what are your thoughts on Axl and Izzy not coming to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" And Steven said, "What?" He like it destroyed him. You'd never seen somebody, a look on somebody's face like that. He went from being so happy and so calm and so everything to like, literally we had to hang up the phone because he was saying some stuff. We had to hang up the phone and we had to cancel the rest of the tour date because it broke his heart, because he believed in all of his heart that those 5 guys that created, one of the most amazing records in rock and roll history would get on stage and do it one more time. And he was so excited about that. And so that was the catalyst to what kind of made him fall off the wagon a little bit and everything else. And, and it's no secret. It's like, you can look all this stuff up. Our tours were canceled because of certain things, and him wanting to get better again, having to go into rehab and all that. And the good thing about the band Adler is I've never been drunk in my life. I've never drank. I've never done drugs. I've never done anything. Lonnie didn't drink or do drugs. Johnny didn't do drugs, and he wouldn't drink around Steven. And our road crew didn't drink or do drugs. And so like we were a great support team to him and a great support system to him. When the record came out, all of the reviews across the board were awesome. Everybody seemed to like really dig the record. VH1 Classics added the video. We went on that metal show, all that stuff. And it really seemed like everything was going great. But when we had to cancel those tours, we had to cancel the tour of the US, we had to cancel the European tour, we had to cancel all that stuff. And we took a break for about a year or 2. I don't even remember how long it was at this point. And when we came back, we weren't doing these full-fledged tours. We were just doing weekend dates just to kind of dip our toes in and all that. And Steven, was just like, what, this, I don't know if this is fun, because people would come to the show and we were doing the entire Adler record. And then for the encore, we would do 2 Guns N' Roses songs. So we'd pick different Guns N' Roses songs, and that would be the encore. But by the time that our very last show ever was at M3. And by the time we got to M3, the show was all Guns N' Roses songs with one Adler song. So it's like he realized that it's very, very, very hard to introduce new music to existing fans that want to hear all of the classics and everything. So I think that's what it is. I didn't hear Johnny's answer to it, so I don't know what his answer was.
Yeah, Johnny basically said something similar. I point blank asked him if Steven's demons were an issue and if they had come back and sort of manifested themselves in that band, and if that was part of the derailment. And Johnny basically said, yeah, pretty much. And then that was sort of the end of the subject. I didn't want to pry any further. So I do appreciate you being so candid about that. I can just imagine, the attention that's on him and, given his background and some of his history, that's got to be a lot of pressure, man. And
he is so gracious with fans. Like, no matter what kind of mood he's in, no matter how tired he is, he never forgets the reason that he's able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do for the rest of his life and not have to worry about anything. He knows it's because of the fans. He is so gracious with everybody. He gives everybody a big hug. He'll sign anything that you want him to sign. He's just the greatest dude. And he's one of my favorite people in the world. It's like, I just talked to him last week. He's awesome. He's doing so well. And he's back to doing what was Adler's Appetite, but now it's just Steven Adler, but he's playing the Guns N' Roses songs. The singer he has now will blow your fucking mind. He sounds just like Axl. His name is Ari. He's from Argentina. Sweetest guy in the world. And man, if you close your eyes, you would think it's Axl Rose in 1988. Like, he's amazing.
I think I saw them in Pittsburgh a couple years ago. Dirty Looks. I'm fronting Dirty Looks now, and we did a show in Pittsburgh, and man, I can't even remember how long ago. 2 years ago, maybe. And I'm pretty sure it was this Ari guy you're talking about, and it was pretty crazy how
amazing
how good the kid was. Did you know that I was up for like, I talked to Steven on the phone, like he was looking to get me involved at some point?
Yeah, like, I had no idea, but that's something that you could do with your eyes closed. You've got that range and that voice. You can make your voice break up like that. You'd totally be able to do that.
I think other people were telling Steven that the same thing. And I think at the time, Tracy Guns was involved as well. But that was a fucking long time ago. I barely recall that. And I think somebody at Artists Worldwide would put us in touch to see about getting that going. But anyway, that's another story.
Tell me real quick how you met Johnny Martin, since we're on the topic of Adler.
Good one.
How'd you meet Johnny?
So after we did the Adler record, Jeff Pilson played bass on the Adler record, and he produced it. And talk about a dude that's insanely talented. Good Lord, man, that dude is insanely talented. We were looking for a bass player, and Lonnie knew Johnny. And Lonnie was having a party, and Steven went over to his house, and Johnny was there, and Johnny picked up the bass and started playing Rush. As soon as that's all you have to do with Steven, man. but Johnny's so incredible. He was playing the stuff note for note, and he goes, this dude can play Rush. He's like, you're in the band. And I think at the time Johnny was coming out of one of the versions of LA Guns at the time. So we were lucky enough for him to come on board and be a full-fledged band member. And, and just what a guy, man. He's just amazing.
Yeah. He's a lot of fun. I met him when he was playing with Jesse Malin at South by Southwest one year, and we got to talking after the show, and he said, you know, he goes, give me your phone number, your email address, or whatever. We should stay in touch. And I'm thinking, there's no way this guy's going to stay in touch with me. I'm just some guy that walked up to him after a show. And all these years later, we're still, you know, we text each other and send each other silly jokes. And I see him when he comes into town with LA Guns, and he's a great guy, man. He's been a really cool guy.
He's the dude at the party that played Rush on a bass in the corner.
Yeah,
That's exactly who he is. He's amazing.
I love it.